and dancer all in one,
specifically in the arts,
taking risks
photography.
in the arts world.
The language is ASL,
Deaf what? Interview.
digital originals.
Dr. Jenelle Rouse. Hello, my name is Jenelle Rouse. Growing up, J on side chin was my sign name, but now it's signed JR on side chin. Here in London, Ontario. I'm a teacher. I was born and raised in Toronto. Actually, it's more half and half. I traveled between Oshawa, where my family is, and attending the Metro Toronto School for the Deaf, MTSD, before it closed down a few years ago. I'm the only deaf child in a family full of hearing people. I was born hearing but became deaf as a baby due to unknown reasons. I think I maybe wished to become deaf and that wish came true. Yes! I've got a great support system for my family as they always believed in me. And they didn't take pity on me just because I'm deaf. They were like, so what if you're deaf? You can still do this and that. So I was always ambitious and chased after my many goals. I have many goals, including dancing, like you just saw in the previous video clip. And I love teaching and studying for my Ph.D. I fell in love with dancing when I was probably 1 or 2 years old. My older sister was always encouraging me to dance, showing off her dance moves. It all started with, I remember this very well, with the butterfly dance. You know what I'm talking about? I mimicked my sister's moves and I craved to learn more. I remember from back then, MTV, much music. Yes, from the 80s and 90s. Watching and copying from my role model, Janet Jackson, reppin' woman power. So I basically learned how to dance from these videos. I remember Michael Jackson, who I thought was a woman because of his hair. I learned how to do the moonwalk when I was only 4 or 5 years old. When I attended MTSD, I always joined my older friends who would spend their free time performing and dancing. They would also ask me to lead the group in front of an audience. As I grew up, I became more creative when it came to choreographing dances and collaborating on moves with my fellow dancer friends. So instead of chatting during recess, we were getting it on with our moves. Dance has really helped me to express my feelings, my frustrations, my anger, my happiness, all the feelings that go on within. And I express them through dance. Remember, I'm the only deaf person in my family, and sometimes we communicate with each other through dance. Our facial expressions, emotions, and body language all become an art form. When you move, others can understand what you're trying to convey. No words, signs, or speaking are needed. People can incorporate what they learn from dance and apply it to real-life experiences. I identify as culturally deaf and as a sign language user. I think the foundation of language is so important and valuable. I also identify as Black, of course, with so much pride, nothing to be ashamed of. I also identify as a woman. To many people, having multiple marginalized identities in one person as a Black, deaf woman means I've been living through life as an oppressed person. Oftentimes people see that as a negative thing, but I've transformed my life into a positive thing. I've worked hard to show I can do it all, even if I am a deaf Black woman. I can do it all, and so can you. I've taught kindergarten for many years, as well as teaching kids in grades ranging from K to 12 on various subjects, including the ASL curriculum. What really made an impact? Here in London, Ontario, a quiet, small town, the Robarts School for the Deaf was not commonly known by Londoners until a few years ago when the school was on the verge of being closed. The community, the staff, and parents worked together. They worked together in order to make sure deaf schools were staying open by spreading awareness about the importance of deaf schools for children. They're important because it provides deaf students with a sign language environment where they can learn and create connections about the outside world. Interacting with deaf students on a daily basis is also important because they expose them to a sign language environment. Deaf schools provide deaf children a sense of belonging. They can find other kids and go like, "You're deaf? Cool, me too." It doesn't matter how much hearing loss you have or even if you're hard of hearing. You can connect with people who share pride about being deaf. It becomes a huge part of your identity. And regardless of how much you hear, more or less than the average deaf person, you still share a common identity and hold pride in being deaf. Collectively, we know we can do anything we want to do, and we're not being deaf let us hold us back from engaging in society. Just go for it. For example, when it comes to myself, I have many passions, and I go for them.
So, regarding multi-lens existence, can you tell me more about how you came up with the name and the meaning behind it? Knowing that there are many roles that you take on in your life and merging these roles together.
Multi-lens existence came into fruition about, I'll say 3 years ago. Around the same time you came to London to do the Deaf What project, a few months later, I applied for the Deaf and Disability Arts projects under the Ontario Arts Council for the first time. I applied under the ad hoc category. I thought deeply about my message of bringing two worlds together. Originally, I thought about the name perceptions, like, mirrored viewpoints. But that word was already commonly used out in the deaf community, so that word to me was too vague. It didn't work well for me. I really wanted to bring in the concept of multiple viewpoints and multiple lenses. So I explored the idea of multi-lens more, playing with the idea of the photographic lens. And the more I thought about it, the art part, the thinking part, the research part, they are all different lenses. I was playing with different ideas, and then I decided to have a conversation with my friend who was also a dance partner and was working on the same project. There was a uniqueness with this idea. We loved the name, and we decided to go for it. It became a creative collaboration. We submitted our project and obtained a grant. The rest is written.
So, congratulations, Dr. Rouse, on your Ph.D. degree. How do you feel being the first Black deaf woman across Canada to get a Ph.D. in languages?
Yes, I just got my PhD in languages and linguistics, specializing in education. Honestly, I'm still processing this fact about myself that I've gotten a PhD. Looking back to the time I presented my thesis defense and immediately after the faculty had their discussion and then they came back to say, "Congratulations, Dr. Rouse." I was in disbelief, shocked. I thought I was seeing things. Yes, I was taken back. I was like, seriously? I did it? I was so thrilled. I had finally accomplished this milestone. I posted a new profile picture and shared the news about finally receiving my PhD degree on Facebook. I didn't expect to get the reaction that I did and the widespread attention I received from the community. And from there, I learned that I was the first Black deaf woman to get a PhD in Canada. I was like, wait a minute, seriously? Again, I was in disbelief. I was just doing my own thing, you know. I was just focusing on completing my goals, that's all. I wasn't aiming to be the first Black deaf woman in Canada to get a PhD degree. It took a few days to reel it all in. I was overwhelmed with so many emotions, including happiness, just all at once. I danced through these emotions, focused on my art, and had conversations. After 3 weeks, I became more accustomed to using my new name sign, Dr. Rouse. I got a PhD in deaf education, well, education to be exact. I studied how to improve deaf education and apply these ideas in Ontario, across Canada, and globally.
Oh my gosh, wow. Aren't you also the first Black deaf woman to be a Black teacher of the deaf in Canada?
That fact I'm already familiar with, but I didn't share with many people. I knew about that fact more than 10 years ago, actually, when I first got my Bachelor of Education. And then I officially became a teacher of the deaf. I mean, I was just looking for a job. I was just doing what I do best, and that's teaching children, uplifting them. I love making connections with the students and their families and connecting with the teaching staff. That's where my core values are at. That's what I care about. It's a different story with where I am today, being the first Black teacher of the deaf in Canada, plus the first Black deaf woman with a PhD. I'm the first of two things. You caught me. Fine, I admit it.
You've accomplished quite a lot in your life. With these two huge milestones, it's a wonderful accomplishment. You deserve this type of recognition. In Canada, wow, it's so awesome.
I know, I finally accept the recognition.